And as I throw down to James Bracey, I've been doing a bit of counting here, guys. There's nearly $160 million worth of prize money won by the combatants in the sprint, the mile and the stakes on Saturday. It is the creme de la creme of racing.
Most certainly is, Ed. You put the big stars on show for the big races, and Francesca, it's exactly what we're doing on Saturday.
It really is. This newly rebranded Champions Stakes Day on Saturday. It used to be called Stakes Day, now it's Champions Day, and it's in its third year. And we've got all the stars appearing. We've got VRC from the Cox Plate, we've got Duke de Sessa from the Caulfield Cup, and we've got Bella Nipotina, the Everest winner. She won last week as well in Sydney, but all the stars are appearing on the last day of the carnival.
Yeah, 26 Group 1 winners right across the program on Saturday, but the three main races, it makes for good reading.
It's incredible, to be honest, that we've got this many quality horses contesting and clashing across the three races, Gator. You know, you've got Antino, who's coming off a career peak winning the Toorak. You've got Private Life, who won the Coolmore Stud Stakes. He's taking on the older horses. Giga Kick, the comeback kid. Tissue won a Group 1 last Saturday. Like, it's just insane.
No, it is that, and credit to all involved. And VRC comes off here. That replay you saw, I'm on record as saying it's as good as winners I've seen in my lifetime, and the clock backed her up. So can she repeat that? There's plenty of combatants. That mile race, you don't know where to start and finish doing the form there.
Alrighty, so that's all ahead of us on Tab Champion Stakes Day coming your way this Saturday, the final day of the Cup Carnival. But as Crown Oaks Day continues...
All right, let's just cast forward then to Saturday. You mentioned in Champion Stakes, I mean, VRC, Duke de Sessa, the Caulfield Cup winner without a fight last year's Melbourne Cup winner, Docklands, a Tissue comes in again. But let's go back to the Champions Mile, which you're in. So broadsiding after the Cox Plate, third in the Cox Plate. Mr. Brightside's there, Pride of Jenny with a new jockey on board. And Tina, another Will who won on Saturday, broadsiding. Fangirl, you know, with Chris Waller will be up and going. Amelia's Jewel, My Oberon. They're the household names of racing coming one race after the other, from the sprint to the mile to the Champion Stakes.
Well, it is an amazing race. Look, you've got Australia's Racehorse of the Year last season, Pride of Jenny. Australia's champion 2-year-old, our horse Broadsiding. The champion of Lindsay Park is the silent assassin, Mr. Brightside, isn't he?
Yeah.
And well, like, could there have been a more impressive winner on Caulfield Guineas Day than Antino, who won the Toorak?
Yeah.
And that is just to mention the four of those, without mentioning Steffi Magnetica, who should have run top 2 in the Golden Eagle last weekend. So it is an amazing race, and if Broadsiding was able to win it as the only 3-year-old in the race, the young colt who's already proved himself to be the champion 2-year-old, wow, it would add an amazing edge to his already amazing reputation.
So just take us through that for people who are just watching today. Yes, we know it's a $3 million race, but for a colt to come through like that, what does that do for its breeding potential down the track and the value of that horse?
Well, you know, he's got the ability to improve on his reputation.
Yeah.
He's already returned as a Group 1 winner in the Golden Rose this season, so he's proved to have trained on since his 2-year-old campaign. So he's ticked that box, but he hasn't beaten the older horses yet. He's racing a Cox Plate, his first go against the older horses, and that was a brutal tempo that was set up by Pride of Jenny.
Yeah.
He was home best of those that are here in the Champions Mile, but he was no match for the Japanese horse, and he was no match for VRC. But they're not there in this race, so now it's interesting. Do we get to see him have the chance to beat the older horses like Mr. Brightside and Pride of Jenny? Well, they'll take some beating, and yet I'd love to see him on a big track like Flemington, and I'd love to see him in a fast pace again, where he can use his weight for age allowance to get into the race, because not many 3-year-olds have won this race. It has been a handicap for many years. Now that it's transferred to a weight for age race, it gives a 3-year-old like Broadsiding a real chance.
Great stuff, mate. So great horses coming through.
We're expecting more legends to be made too ahead and on Champion Stakes Day comes Saturday, and it is. As you can see, there are Super Saturday, 3 Group 1s, back to back to back. Each race worth $3 million from the sprint to the mile to the stakes. Some afternoon ahead of us on Saturday, Francesca.
Oh, it really is, and it's bringing together all the best horses that we've been enjoying seeing throughout the spring. The likes of Bella Nipotina in the sprint. We've got VRC coming from the Cox Plate. We've got last year's Melbourne Cup winner without a fight resuming. So you won't want want to miss a minute of that.
Our final 3 Group 1 races from the 8 across the Cup Carnival.
Champions Day has become something in the last couple of years. I've said it before that the 90 minutes of racing with the sprint and the mile and the stakes is as good a broadcast time that I've been involved in any sports that I've been involved in, from Super Bowls, Olympic Games, AFL Grand Finals and everything in between. It really is something, isn't it?
Yeah, I think Flemington are getting it right, the VRC, and you're seeing numbers being up and people are watching it at home with record numbers, and it's great to see it going in one direction, and that's up.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the good horses bring people to the races. They get people watching on TV, and that creates a story and people talk about it, and that fuels the years ahead. So, yeah, Champions Day, it's becoming something unique. For example, we've got VRC Festina coming from a Cox Plate. We've got Private Life coming from a Caulfield Guineas. And we've got Fangirl coming up from Sydney. So it's the clash of the Titans, and yeah, they're all meeting together. Previously, they haven't been running together. They've been running here, there, but they have to clash this weekend.
And I think that's the great thing, is that you look at the race book and they're all household names, all these horses that are running. And, you know, I look at what the VRC did a couple of years ago, and it's almost, I think where these things happen, people don't realise it. You know, the foundations are when it's all dirty and all around the place, and then suddenly you drive past and go, where did that building come from? It's been that for the VRC the last 3 years, and what's happened in Sydney as well, I think, has been great to really get everybody fired up.
Yeah, the competition from Sydney has made the Victorians really stand up and say, right, we need to rebuttal, we need to fend off the challenge, and they've done it. And like you say, you think, oh, will that idea work? All of a sudden, it does work. Get, again, record crowds and the right horses racing together.
So let's have a look at Champion Stakes. VRC Festina, it was just an amazing run in the Cox Plate. Did it totally surprise you? I mean, clearly you thought the horse was something, particularly after its amazing preparation on the Tuesday, where it threw the jockey and kept running for old J-Mac, hit the deck, but it was just something for the ages, that, wasn't it?
Yeah, she was certainly in a zone. The race mapped out well for us. It was like there was pace on in the early stages, pace on the middle stages, and that created a track record time. Yeah. So how do you replicate that? Well, it probably won't be replicated in terms of how the race was run, but her ability's there. She was an eight-length winner. She brought to Melbourne good Sydney form. She brought to Sydney good European form. So she's beaten some of the best around the world. So it's great that she's found that form here in Australia, and the people get to see her to race again on Saturday.
I think it's something like $160 million worth of prize money in the 3 races. It shows you the quality of the horses. By the way, $65. You can get the tickets now. Go to vrc.com.au. $65 to come in on Saturday. It's going to be fantastic. Let me just go through the Champion Stakes. As I said, VRC Festina. You've also got a Tissue, who won the Empire Rose on the weekend, of course, and hoping to win the Champion Stakes for the 2nd year in a row.
Yes, that's right. So
you've done well in trying to keep them apart, scoop up all the money, Chris.
So James McDonald won on her here the first day, and as you said, she did win exactly the same race that we're running in on Saturday last year. She beat the big boys and girls last year. So James hops off a Tissue because of his association with VRC Festina. Yeah. So yeah, we've got a new jockey in Jai McNeil, but look, they'll know she's there.
Champions Mile, you mentioned Fangirl. You've got Broadsiding is also, I mean, 3rd in the Cox Plate. You've got Mr. Brightside, Pride of Jenny, and Tino, another Will who won on Saturday. It is again a star-studded lineup for the Champions Mile.
So you got Fangirl there in the Cerise. Like, when she's got it right, she can beat anything. She can beat these horses. She's coming off a flat run last start. We rode her a lot closer to the speed. We were very wary of Pride of Jenny in that race, and I think we had her out of a comfort zone, Eddie, so we'll just go back to just letting her be where she's comfortable and let things unfold, and hopefully you'll see a similar finish.
Well, 9 of 13 in the Champions Mile have won Group 1 races. As I said, $53 million in prize money. The Champion Sprint, $54 million in prize money, and the Champion Stakes, $52 with VRC Festina, Duke the Cessor, without a fight, coming back after last year's Melbourne Cup, Docklands and a Tissue. It's just fantastic, isn't it?
It sure is. Like when Winks was racing, she was in the spelling paddock. She didn't need to come to Champions Day. There wasn't a Champions Day, so I guess it took the public's or took winks away from the public, where she could have had one more run. So now we've got it, one more run.
Well, Chris, it's great to have you here, and I've said this a couple of times in private functions, but no one is as big an ambassador for racing, and what you do there's so much work going on around you. You say yes to every media interview, and you look after the sport so well. Thanks very much as always, mate.
Thank you. I could count 10 more than me, and you're one of them. Thanks for what you're doing, and thanks for what Channel 9's doing. It really is special.
Chris, I'm a strapper compared to you on this one, that's for sure. Well done, Chris. Good luck on the weekend.
Thank you.
Chris Waller joining us.
Absolutely belting down. We've had to do a little bit of a reshuffle here for our broadcasting from the mounting yard. But, of course, while the final race of the day is just moments away, it gives us a good chance to start getting excited, Grace and Francesca, for Tab Champions Stakes Day. And what a way to finish. 3 Group 1s back to back to back. We get to see Via Sistina, the Cox Plate winner, in one of those 3 races, each worth $3 million. J-Mac, you star. Duke de Sessa, the Caulfield Cup winner, in stunning fashion, also comes back on one of the biggest stages. And what about Bella Nipotina, the Everest winner, and gets another opportunity here in front of another big crowd on what is a stacked card. And for the race lovers, doesn't get much better than this.
No, it doesn't. And those 3 big headline horses that you've referenced, they're at the peak of their powers, but you're also talking about some of those that were, behind them, but given a good winning chance. Think about in the Cox Plate broadsiding. I mean, he's the boom 3-year-old colt, and he's only 4th up going into a Champions Mile now. Mr. Brightside, Mr. B. Obviously, I'll be cheering for him, and I hope that he can do really well. Antino coming off a career peak. Giga Kick, the comeback kid. Like, it is just incredible.
We've got 26 individual Group 1 winners performing on Saturday, and they've almost become household names, haven't they? Yeah. The likes of Bella Nipotina, the likes of Via Sistina, and we cannot wait to see them in action on Saturday. I'm almost sad that it's kind of nearly over almost.
It feels a bit more real now that we're at the back end of Crown Oaks Day here, but Mr. Brightside v Pride of Jenny, this has become a match race for all to enjoy, and it goes to another level on Saturday afternoon, Grace.
It sure does, and but I think, in the past it's sort of been Pride of Jenny against Mr. Brightside, but now we're adding in Fangirl, we're adding in Broadsiding, we're adding in Antino, so it doesn't just end with those 2 big guns in terms of the winning chances.
I slightly think the division has been needing that a little bit of late. Like, we've been seeing a lot of, and it's been great for Mr. Brightside to keep winning all these races.
And it is everything that it could be built up for. Have a look at some of these ones. Race 7, the Group 1, that's the sprint. Bella Nipotina, we have against Giga Kick, Barraquel. We've got Private Life, we've got Bellatrix Star, all running in that race. You've got the Champions Sprint, that was a Champions Sprint, the Champions Mile with Mr. Brightside, Pride of Jenny, Antino, Another Will, Broadsiding, Fangirl, Amelia's Jewel, and in the Champion Stakes, Via Sistina comes back out. Duke de Sessa, the Caulfield Cup winner, without a fight, is back after missing everything from the Melbourne Cup last year. Who else? We've got Docklands, a Tissue from Saturday. Wow!
I mean, the fact you had to go all the way down to a Tissue to, put her in the field, having won so impressively the Empire Rose last week. Normally, she'd be the headliner in a field like that. But no, you've got Via Sistina, Duke de Sessa without a fight. These races are so deep, and they are full of champions.
Now, we were lucky enough to work together a couple of years ago when the Champions Day came into being, and it was so exciting. The last 2 years, I've been lucky enough to be here. This year, it is the best it's ever been. It's the deepest it's ever been. Everyone's enjoyed themselves, and we've just got people coming left, right and centre for what will be a great day of racing.
You know what happens so often, especially in racing, is that people are very afraid of change. They don't like it when things change. However, it was a brilliant initiative to move what was the McKinnon Stakes on the first Saturday to the last Saturday, and to give these races some real importance.
And I've got a feeling there might be something even more coming. I think this is going to build up even stronger. A great day today. Tremendous work, you, James Bracey and all the team. Thanks for being with us, Francesca. On behalf of everybody here at Nine's Widewater Sports, I hope you've enjoyed Crown Oaks Day. We'll see you Saturday for the Tab Champions Day.
This has been another presentation from Nine's Wide World of Sports.